Hello everyone, smashing in there, and welcome to the finale of BOB. Yep, I'm kind of getting straight to the point. This is gonna be a long one, probably, but your favorite idiot is here to tell you, oh my god, I'm running out of time. Hi, this is the final day of BOB, that I'm recording this, and I haven't finished everything yet. Ah, so, yeah, that's the brutal truth. I have, a lot of lore to cover, but not, I don't know if I have enough time, so I'm recording this one first, because I need an intro. Basically, okay, building-wise, I've basically completed most of the things that need to be done. I managed to get it done, somehow. I just need to add a little to the interior, and then I can record the next chunk of lore. And then I have to build yet another thing, after which I can record the final piece of lore, which was supposed to have more people, that now can't have more people, so I'm basically gonna have to wing it solo. And that's where we're at. That's the current situation. That's what I've made of it. Due to a lack of time, really, because of my big break for therapy reasons. So yeah, that's the world we live in right now, and that's what I'm gonna have to work off of. So with that in mind, I'm gonna cut to when I've actually completed the last few floors of building, and we can get on with whatever needs to happen. Because there's a lot. Like a lot. Main thing I need to figure out is how to get a spectator account into the nether. Because I don't know if that's a thing we can do. Anyway, I'll see you all when the building is done. Okay, the building's done. It's been completed. It's all finished. And it took a lot longer than I want to admit. But it's done, and by the time you see this video, the BOB season will have ended. That's not a joke. Based on my estimate of time, approximately, by the time I'm done recording everything, I won't have time to edit because work. So, you're seeing this a day after the season ended. Likely. I'll probably edit it all tomorrow. Maybe. Otherwise it's Wednesday. It's one of the two. Point is, the season's over. That's it. We're in the finale. I can't do anything else. My hands are tied here. I was on a deadline. I've done all I can. So, there's two things I'd like to say before we jump into the massive amount of lore I have to cover. First things first, I've had to make a majority of adjustments due to the lack of people. Let's go with that. Originally, this was supposed to be done more ahead of time of the season, so there would be time to plan to do the finale with multitude of people. I'm winging it solo now. So, small adjustment, minor really. But, there's more. Yeah, Look, alright. The lore was supposed to be done this season, and it's come to a point where that is just not realistically possible the way it's going to play out. Where it's headed and how it's headed, there I simply can't say. But the only thing I will say is that this is not the end of this lore. And I will... Okay, why do I... What keeps doing damage to my old account? Sorry, every time you see two of me on the screen, aka two of my characters, one of them is my alt, which is currently open on a different computer, and for some reason my alt keeps taking damage. But when I look, I don't see anything that deals that damage, so it's just rather confusing. But alright, it's whatever. I'm sure my alt isn't gonna die. Yeah, so I spent the past week working my ass off, getting everything done, and I have successfully done so. Almost. Here's the mess I've made on emptying the place from me building, which I'm not done with. I mean, I am, but like, there's some stuff I still need to do before I can record the final thing. Yada yada yada, not important. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest, I am tired. Work, I had to compensate for my break with a lot of building this past week alone, and it was exhausting. But successful. But I do think I deserve to go take a little bit of a nap. Well, that's not good, is it? I think I still have a psychic connection to the guy. I need to know where it is. Where? Why? What? The... Netter. Has to be. Where's my food? Where's my food? I can't leave that guy alone for 5 minutes. I'm telling you. We've been separated for like a solid, like a week, maybe. He's already getting up to something. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's this way? Doesn't look this way. Not that way. Yeah, well, I'm good at this. I am on fire. He just had to break out in me. He couldn't have just stayed peacefully in there. Whatever. No, he had to break out. Where is this place? Wait. Wait. It's here. Alright. I'm great at flying today. This is going great. Okay. Seems quiet. Almost suspiciously so. What is all this stuff? Oh, at least it keeps... Oh, never mind. Weird. He has to be up to something, right? Condition stable. Essence? Essence? Is he... I don't know, that can't be. What's over here? Condition stable. Essence. Flowing. Does one go anywhere? No. Condition stable. Infection unknown. Does this one have that too? Ooh, what about this one? Ah, the end. Yeah, that makes sense. Condition stable. Infection dormant. That's weird. How about you? Dormant. Only the overruled. It's unknown. That's weird. It's here. Is this stuff? Hi. What's up to, man? What is all this? You're... No, get out. Come away. You're that guy. He had a body with me for months. And he was just punching me to get me out of the way. Seriously, what is with him? Oh, are you good? No? What did you get? Hold on, here. I'm busy. Care if you're busy. You've shared my body for like better part of several months. And we still share a psychic connection. Oh, don't remind me. I'm too busy for you. Can he do that? He can't do that, can he? What do you mean you're too busy for me? What are you doing here anyway? Fine. You want answers? Fine. Your world's basic Hmm. World's basically gonna end. And I'm trying to figure out why it's only the overworld. The Nether is fine, look at this. It's fine, it's dormant. Why? But for some reason... yeah, I'll follow. For some reason, it's only the overworld that's infected. If it's infected, why does it say unknown? Because I don't know how bad it is. No. Over here again? Alright then. Wait. Is this the... But this isn't the overworld. What's this then? This is the infection. Only appeared here recently in... Well, space is tearing apart. So I'm doing whatever I can to fix it. Or I'll abuse it to my advantage already. You're... What do you mean, abusing it to your advantage? That's... Wait a second. This is just experiment proved. You should stop looking into it. Wait a second. Is he doing what I think he's doing? No, that's not it. Nope. You know what? No. No, I'm not dealing with this today. Too sick of his stuff. Let's get this here. Nope, not touching that. Nope, Nope, too much. I'm not dealing with him. He's not gonna give me answers. I don't want his answers. Something's wrong. The world's gonna end. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm just gonna sit in my house. Be safe. I'm just gonna sit there. Be safe. Not worry about the existence of... Don't worry about the existence of him. Maybe if I don't let it happen, I can just pretend everything's fine, and maybe it won't happen, maybe it will be fine. I just need to ignore it. 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 Just gonna ignore it, just gonna act like it doesn't exist. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I can't sleep yet. I'm just gonna go have fun with some slimes and act like everything's fine. You know what? Everything is fine. I don't know what I'm saying. Everything is fine. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. Slime friends! This is what it's all about. You're too big. Be smaller. See, this is what happiness looks like. This is happiness. This is just a constant flop slimes. That's what it's all about. This is my life now. This is why. Yeah. Yeah. But worry though. Can't help worry. Yeah, this place is never being done. I can actually be safe in here. Safe in there. Signs of stuff. This can't all just disappear, can it? Do you think there's something to what he's saying? Like, everything I've built here, everything I've created, everything I've collected, some good achievements, some less complete ones. Maybe there's something in this meeting room. I was never supposed to find this place. It's just that stupid message. What's with this place? Why did he hide it from me? He already shared a body, but he never told me anything. You know, I'm gonna overthink things. I need to take a nap. Now. You know what? I should go check on him. I'm gonna go check on him. I don't trust him. I'm gonna go check on him. I need to check on him. The world's gonna handle me. I need to check on him. I need to make sure he's not doing so. Oh my god, what is he doing? Is he... Rogue, what are you doing? Rogue. Rogue, what are you doing? Oh, wait. Ah, no. Wrong button. Wrong button. Yes. Rogue, what are you doing? It's done. You're screwed. I've already activated it. World's gonna end. I'm gonna be on. I get to inspect, I get to research, I get to I win. What do you mean you win? What have you done? Quite simple. What do you mean? What have you done? Well, you see, there once were these artifacts, but that held tremendous power for each of their own respective dimensions. However, 2 of them were missing, so I had to replace them with infection. And using that, I was able to power my dimensional beam that's going to take me to the secret dimension. And you're not coming with me. Yep, you know what? Alright then. Fine. Fine. I'm glad to be rid of you. Go. Wait. Can you push that lever for me? This one? Yeah. Alright. It's gone. Finally free. Finally. Peace and quiet. Are mine. Alright. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm wrapping it up. That's it. That's where we're cutting off. Because the server's closing in like a minute, I'm pretty sure, and I have to go eat and then go work. So, thank you all very much for watching. I might record a separate outro when I'm editing this, but anyway, I'm out. Peace. So, that's it. That's the end of Season 1 of BOB. Now, I will be adding some final notes and a few sneak peeks at things I never got to build. Some of which might be relevant for next seasons, but honestly, I'm not sure yet. I think I would just want to show them off in the world I used to build it all, and just include some final notes. But for those of you that aren't interested, feel free to click off the video here. I'll mostly be rambling about kind of some of the things I had in mind for the designs and whatnot. Part of which might have some implications to the lore if you really want to look into it, but honestly, I don't think it matters if it's mentioned here because it will eventually come up in the continuation of the lore anyway. But we'll get there when we get there. With that in mind, if all of those that don't want to see this are out of the way, welcome to the closing notes. First things first, welcome to the actual end build, which wasn't completed as it should have been. I'm just gonna get that out of the way first things first. I was so out of time, I had to not include the arrows and change how I handled the ending of the lore because it was supposed to have more people, it was supposed to have more setup. I had to shortcut it so hard, which I will be compensating for during the continuation, actually. But I think the way I handled it will somewhat work, I hope, but I'm not making any promises there. You might notice the arrows are the things that fell away. Besides that, I did actually get to finish the entire build. I'm still kind of happy with that. Also, thanks to Chaos for helping. I don't think I would have made it without him. And the people that donated some quartz. Because, oh my god, this thing used so much more quartz than I thought it would. Oh my god, it was so expensive. I had to buy so much quartz so many times. It was insanity. I was genuinely losing my mind by the amount of quartz I had to keep buying. But yeah, so this is the build I ended up using. This is the one that made it to the server. The one that actually became lore. Here's its previous design. You might notice the arrows are still there, but it's only one fin. It doesn't have the cool top thing, it instead has this, which it's a lot more strapped on and doesn't look as cool with the, like, transitioning colors I had here. Because there did actually go design into it. Here it's here it goes over, here it goes under, this one goes over, here it goes under, this one goes over, here it goes under, that kind of way. And it kind of just makes this feel more rotational in a way. Because here it cuts off, but it flows a bit into this one, it cuts off, flows into that one, cuts off, flows into that one. Stuff like that, and the blue is only at the top now. I like the way this build turned out, even though I wasn't fully able to finish it. It is like a merger of some other parts that were never included. Starting with this one. This was before I took measurements. Which is something you'll probably notice by the massive thing underneath it. Yeah, this is what I originally intended to build underneath that thing. That I just didn't have the room for. I mean, I probably would have had the room if I had started this at the top. But I didn't want to deal with all that lava, so I went for that instead. And I kind of already had those towers, and I had to include them anyway, and this felt like a better way to do so than this. This would have had other lore implications and whatnot. It would have been a much more complicated build to make. Because this was going to carry something from the original design for that plot device. Which was this tiny thing. Which, besides costing 5 beacons and a hacking load of diamonds, it had these floor fog glass things. Only one of which was actually built, and you might, if you look very carefully, you'll notice at the bottom there's an end crystal and some end stone and one pillar. First of all, if I carried this design, this would have been bigger, because I would have actually built more like small things down there. But yeah, having something like this is what would have happened if I kept that design. But I think I like the way I handled it with that design a little bit more, where you actually see like the essence like flow out of the dimension pockets instead of really just kind of coming out of nowhere. Which to me makes it feel like it has a little more sense to it. I like the way it works. It makes it feel more mechanical fused than just magic, really. So yeah, that's the way this build turned out. It took a lot of designing, but I am happy with the way it turned out. I spent quite some time on it, honestly. Because there were so many things I wanted to keep adjusting. In this one that you'll actually notice, I kept a lot of papers. There were supposed to be extra books added, but I didn't have the time to write them. They wouldn't have been anything special to the lore. It would have just been like Rogue's note on the dimensions. In this one he would go a little crazy due to the infection, but you know, lore things. Yeah, it'll be important again later. Now, one thing I want to show off before I actually get to my final notes on the season is, besides there's this little thing that never ended up getting used, and the cow for the community server I never ended up building. Thinking about ways to stasis chamber, which didn't end up working. This thing I had to include because I didn't want to show my big mansion build. My first attempt at the airship, the actual attempt at the airship. Ooh, actually that lets me show one of the things I never ended up designing. The bee room. Welcome to the bee room. It's cute, it's cozy, and I'm kind of happy with it, even though I never got to build it on the server. I think it's a cute little bee room. It has flowers, it has a bed, it has little bee thingies. I think it's cute. This also showcases parts of the blimp that were never integrated, like the thing going across like this and stuff. I mean, I think that's the only one I actually never integrated. The anchor's there. I think I forgot to remove some of the blocks I used like around here to build things. But that's about it. There's actually the original tower with the gun. I completely forgot I had built one of these over here. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot I had designed one of these already. The gun design I did nail on the first go. It originally didn't have glass, it was more this, and the beam was more terracotta and a little bit googly. I kind of prefer the just glass one, but this one was kind of cool too. And then the biggest reveal of them all, the original ending to the lore. Yeah, it was supposed to end this season, but due to my break for therapy, I never had the time to do that. I never got down to it, honestly. But honestly, I kind of like the way it's headed now. That's just how these things can evolve, but there was originally these towers, which I think actually looked kind of cool. I'm actually really happy with the design. This ended up not being used, but I feel like it kind of... You can probably see a bit of resemblance between the two, though this design is much cooler, if you ask me. I really liked this design originally. I was going to design more options, but I never got down to it because the design changed so much. Also, fun fact, this would have cost me so... It only had a front, by the way. But this was going to cost me so much time had I gone through with it. Because the entire mansion, which is that big, by the way, I'll show you just how big that is in a second, was going to be on a giant floating nether rock. That's not a joke, by the way. I would have had to build a ginormous floating rock of nether, and then build on top of that. And trust me, it would be pain. Also, look, it's right across a little. But yeah, and also this cool thing with the like smoke in front of it, which I don't know if I would have integrated into original because it was so big. Even had extra little rooms, one of which has a cat in it. If you want to take a gander at who those rooms belong to, feel free to do so. They've been revealed to be part of this. And then there's the big version, which didn't get past the entrance. Look at this thing. It's enormous. At least to me it is. It's a very big build. And this is in front. It would have also gone deep underground. It would have been an absolutely massive project, starting with murdering everyone involved. But actually I didn't end up making a piston system for that, I think. There was going to be a piston system, so when everyone had set their bed, I would have pulled a lever and they would have died. There's this cool door system, which I forgot to reset after my failed recording of this originally. But removing the bucket, grabbing an empty bucket would have the same effect. It actually had this redstone system. The lava would originally not be there, and they'd go through like a maze. The people participating, because this was like the location for the finale of the lore. Those participating would be sent in, and they'd have to go through like a maze of rooms, in which they'd eventually find 8 levers, which, when all activated, would trigger all of these observers, and when all of them were triggered, this would open up, and it would grant them passage to whatever comes next. This was going to be a very complex build and not something I would have had the time for. It was at once also going to include a rune, which, let's face it, I would have not been able to finish, because that would have been enormous as well to fit over the entirety of this build. So yeah, I think that is everything there is extra to cover on the lore side of things and design side of things. There's actually, you can actually see over there, I forgot that was here, where I designed the library, or at least one wall, and then I just rotated it. But yeah, this is where that was. This is where that came from. Still one of my potentially one of my favorite builds, honestly. I kind of really like the way the library turned out. I'm really happy with that one. But yeah, I think with that all in mind, we can safely say that's my final notes. A bit longer than they probably should have been, But yeah, am I happy with the way I had to end the lore? Honestly, it could have been better, but it's going in a direction I'll be happy with, and I'll be able to tell the full story when I continue the lore. And let's all face, we all know that's next season. Let's just be honest here, we all know it's next season. And actually, it makes for a very cool thing to do next season. I've already started prepping. I wanted to say preparing and prepping at the same time. That doesn't really work. I've already started preparing for it mentally, as in I've been thinking about it a lot on how I want to do it. I haven't designed anything yet, which is definitely going to be my biggest pain to do before the start of next season. I'm going to get down to designing some things. And before I start building the entire thing as a project, I'm going to make sure I have time and it's designed properly this time. Because there were actually some designing issues with my final builds, but because two of the towers were one block off, and I took the measurements of only one instead of both of them, so that, But yeah. Also, a massive thank you to everyone. If you're still here, or if you even watched the start of the video, you will never hear this, but a massive thanks to everyone that's been there over the last year. It has been an absolute blessing. The way my Twitch has grown into something I can really enjoy doing with an average viewership I'm already happy with. It's nothing compared to any big streamers, but it warms my heart to know that there are some people that care. And the same goes for my YouTube, honestly. When I came into BOB, I was looking at an average of like 4 views per video. I can proudly say the average has now gone up to 10, sometimes even higher. I think maybe 15 is a fair bet. Even though that doesn't sound like a whole lot, it is to me. It honestly means a lot, the slight growth I've had over the past year, and I hope I continue to have over the future. And honestly, let's see where BOB Season 2 takes us, because we never know what we're gonna get. And with that in mind, one final thank you for everyone watching, and I will see you all in BOB Season 2 and all the videos in between. That's Ender signing off one last time, and I'll see you all on the next one. Ciao!